So I can show you real quick the whole door situation. So we're kind of back on the interior stuff, right? Now that the exterior is done-ish, we can work on the interior because I'm not going to run the headlights or anything like that until I get the bed in to do all the lighting all at once. So let me show you the idea that I was talking about while I kind of implemented it. So let me show you. Okay, so here we are. So here is that little fork deal I was talking to you guys about. So all I did was just took some 1/8 inch round rod and I bent it in a U and I welded it to the actual all thread, right? So here we go again. Should have had this prepared. So as you can see, it still operates as it should. And then this way, we still do it. So the thing is to kind of like trim these up. I want to trim this down just because to clean it up. I got to put a longer bolt here and then measure this out, how far I got to go out to make the panel, right? So generally, sorry, it's about to rain pretty hard. It's starting. But generally, so this rod on the original would be inside. I've got it running on the outside. And it's quite a step off from here. It's about 1 inch. So I have to figure out the panel, right? So I want to finish buttoning up this whole mechanism here, and then trim these all down so I know where they want to be. Probably put a couple rib nuts in here, 1/4 20s, so I can mount it from the outside versus having to go inside with a bolt. We'll see, because I have to put the window regulator back in to make sure that none of these bolts here actually will hit as I roll up the window, in a nutshell. And then to follow the theme on the inside, I have to take this back out. I'm probably going to get different gauges. Because this guy over here, the gas gauge doesn't work anymore, and I tested it and it shows that it should be working, but it is not working. So that's kind of a bummer. But I have, I welded up that crack there. I got to clean that up. I do have these pieces here to put in, and I want to scrub the whole roof down and get that coated up. So I got to take the seat out. So yeah. So that's kind of what I got going on. How much of that I get done today, we shall see. So give me a minute here. Let me clean up stuff, and then we'll get a plan of attack, and then figure out if I have to go to the store and pick up anything, or if I have everything. I don't know, because I still have a lot of stuff from the Volkswagen bus, interior panel boards that I can cut up. But let's see. So today is kind of going to be a chill day. I'm not in a hurry to get anything done. Like yesterday, I tried to get as much as I could get done, and here I am rambling again because unfortunately that's where I'm at. All right, so with that being said, we will be back once I have a more defined idea of what I'm going to do today that needs to be done. All right, guys. So I was going to try to get both doors done today, but unfortunately it took a lot of thinking. A lot of thinking on trying to figure out these interior panels. So this is what I came up with. I'm not going to put anything down here. I don't think. Maybe I will. Put another panel in right here. But this is what we got. So I shortened the rod because over here the door handle was going to hit, right? And that's no bueno. So I shortened the rod down. It still works as it should. And then I'm trying to rack my brains here, like, how am I going to cover this because of this? Oh, and let me bring you in here real quick before I explain all this. Okay, so this was mounted on the outside with like a rivet. So I ground the rivet off and I swapped it to the back to keep it closer to the panel. And then here is my fork deal. So all this is just the 1032 rod, and then I took 1/8 inch, bent it to give me my fork. So I did have to adjust this down since I shortened the throw. Okay, so now that that's explained, so I moved it over and I was thinking to myself, how am I going to cover all this? You know what? I'm not going to. I'm going to paint. This is going to be upholstered with like some brown, like I do on all. I love that brown, distressed brown leather stuff. And I'm just going to paint this black. The handle's going to remain chrome. And I'm going to paint all this black. If down the road I feel froggy and want to figure out something here, I will. So this all right here sticks 3/4 out from the panel. So what I did was I just took some 2-inch strap that I had over there, 2-inch by 18, and I just made a template, which you saw, and then I just curved it around that template, welded it in, right, to give me my ring. So I didn't want 2 inches sticking out, so what I did was I just measured 1 inch over and then cut it, so now it gives me my inch. These panels are not completely flat. So here it goes like that. So I got to figure that part out. I had it fitting perfectly up against it, but then I added this piece, so this brought this out 1/8 of an inch. So I'm undecided if I'm going to cut this so it butts up against this, and then this will have its own cover. So I can access this at any time, but yet it covers it all up. And then I mounted the handle down, so when you get in and you release it, this is a more natural to open. So there it is. So that's kind of where I'm going to leave it today. I still have to do the other side. I still have to do all this stuff on the other side, but I got my template so I can put this in the exact same spot, right? But so it shuts. Let me show you here. Whoops. It shuts. Still opens from the inside. Shuts. Opens from the outside. So until we're back on her. Alrighty guys, so what I ended up doing was, you just saw it. I didn't like the metal band here. It kind of threw it off. So I remade this piece, and then I used 3/4 inch MDF to make like a spacer, right? To bring me up, and then this will get covered, and then this will just bolt in. So I'll take this off, and then I have full access here, but the panel stays on, right? Through these two guys right here. Everything works as it still should. I'll show you. So we're there, no problem. And inside, where is it? There it is, right there. So that's my inside door panel situation going on here. I will probably put another one down here, like I've been saying, but I got to catch up the other side, the passenger side, which you can see I've already started with templates and stuff, but I'm going to use this piece as a template for that side, just so my door latch is in the same spot. All my bolt holes will be in the same. I'm going to put one more down here, because this one is only going to be attached by 2. So I'm going to put another one down here just to kind of, you know, well, it doesn't flap. Maybe I won't, but I think it'll look even if they're all in, right? And then my little window guy. And then I know these bolts here I have to have shorter because these are really long, like really long. Yeah, they're like 1.25 inches. I only need maybe a 1/2 inch just to go in and bolt into the rib nut here. I don't want any problems with the glass, right? And the only ones I see they may be a problem are these, and that's because the bolts stick out way far. Yeah, so that's that side. I did get in some door checks. I'll show you how I run those in later. But for now, let me see if I can get that other side caught up real quick. It's the same process as this side. So that's what I'm going to do real quick. Alrighty guys, so I just figured out I only had enough material to do one side. So I ordered some material. It may be here tomorrow, but generally when it comes the next day, if it doesn't specifically say early drop off, it'll probably be more like 6, 7 o'clock. But this is kind of what I had in mind. So that cover, right? I just put a piece on there, and it's still, you guys are going to get tired of this interior door stuff, but still works. So this side is ready to get covered, but yeah, let me see, because there's still a lot of other things I need to get done here before I get too crazy. I just wanted to see how this would work out, and I like it, but I still think I want to clean up the roof a lot, and get that coated with my Rust Trap stuff. And yeah, so I think that's going to be what I'm going to work on. I've been kind of pushing it off because it's really disgusting to do it, because everything falls on you. I got to take the seat out for sure, so that doesn't get covered with gunk. But yeah, so let me probably work on that for a minute, since I figured out the door panel situation, how I want to do it. And honestly, it won't take that long to do the other one. Now that I have all the templates, I have them all laid out here, exactly what I need to do. The cover part may be a little different, but I mean, it'll still look the same. Just the placement of it is a little different. But so let me start sanding down this roof and getting that all kind of cleaned up, wire brush it and stuff, get all the loose stuff off, and then coat that so that can be drying so I can go on to the next thing. So we will be back. All right, guys, so we got the roof all cleaned up, back wall, and then I started brushing the rust trap, and then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna spray it because when you're brushing it, it all dribbles all over you. Definitely wear a mask with this stuff, like it's no joke. But what I used was, this was just a cheap $30 gun off from Amazon. It has different size tips. This is a 1.7, but it goes up to 2.0. But a 1.7, with that, it goes out perfectly. I did turn the fan so it's more narrow than wide, so more material actually hits the metal than going everywhere else. So let me just bring you in. Yeah, try not to have anything nearby, because if this overspray gets on it, aka my truck sitting over there, it will cover it. I mean, it is what it is. Luckily, I work in a shop that we have stuff that can remove that kind of stuff. But anyway, so I'm going to bring you down here and I'll show you how it looks. So there it is. The whole back wall now is done. Well, the bottom half I had already, but when I started brushing it up here, you know, it dribbles all over the place. See that? I don't like it. But we have got an incredible coat on this thing all the way back there, and then I sprayed all up inside there because well, the window, the foldy window actually attaches right in this point right here. The guy cut all the bolts to mount it. So yeah, anyway, so I got to figure that one out if I'm going to keep the flippy window. Let me take it to the other side. And there's the other side, all coated up real nice. And then I just, hold on. And then I just lifted it up in the air and I started spraying, door handle. I started spraying the bottom underneath with whatever I had left in the jar or in the liner. But I'm out of it. I thought I had more of it, but I was wrong. So I have to order another one of these so I can do the hole underneath. But anyway, that's another story or another time. But yeah, 1.7, cheap gun. Turn the pressure way down so more material comes out and hits and floats around. And yeah, worked perfectly. This is also the same gun that I primed the 442 with the epoxy primer, which is thick, and then the high build primer after that, right here. That one went a lot faster than brushing it. I actually changed my shirt so because I knew it would drop down when I started doing it. So let me go grab something to eat real quick because it's lunchtime, and then we'll be back and figure out what we're going to do. I may cover that one door panel so it's done, and then just stash the part. Yeah, we'll be back. All right, guys, so we are in the upholstery side of my shop, aka under the loft, where I got lighting here in the Volkswagen. But like I said, I've only got enough material to do the one. I'll go over this again. In the GMC, I did basically the same thing. The Volkswagen, I did the same thing. But we'll show you here again. Here we go. So all I do is I just take a thick washer, and that's how I measure, right? So I just kind of go around it. Well, that side doesn't really matter, but that. Yeah. Right there. So that gives us a good reference line on where to cut it, right? And then we'll cut it. So I trace along the very perimeter of the panel to give me a placement to spot it in, if that makes sense. Okay. So we'll get that out of the way, that out of the way. And then there it is. So we cover this, and then we cover the back here. All right, so this roll, this time around, usually I do like Super 77 or Super 90, but I'm gonna give this Gorilla Glue a whirl. And if this does work out, they also have like another product that you brush on. It's like contact adhesive. That may be something a little bit for maybe like headliner stuff or whatever. So I'm gonna spray this first. Actually this side first, and then I'm going to spray this and give it a minute, and then we're going to let it stick together. I'm going to break out my little stapler, my upholstery stapler, and we'll wrap this up real quick. Now I am not an upholsterer, so this is just the way I do it. Yeah, so just saying. There's probably plenty more ways to do it than what I'm doing it, but this is how I do it. So now I'm going to spray along this edge here and then start wrapping it around. Not bad. Now that Gorilla Glue is actually a little bit better than 3M90 or the Super 77. That gripped good, really good. All right, so now I got to just kind of punch holes through this stuff for all this. Yep. Let's wrap this guy right here. Not too bad. You know, that's where the rod comes through right here. The corners were a little rough on this because they're pretty wide. But, you know what? I'm okay with it. I think that looks great. Considering I'm not an upholsterist. Oh, we're shooting blanks. When it comes to staples, I don't think you can have enough. All right, so let me pop these holes, and then we'll put this in. Now I know there's probably better ways to do this than with an awl, but the whole point of getting this in there right now is so it'll form and set up on these fixtures or on the fasteners. So hold on a second, we'll be right back. All right, guys, this looks really good. I use number 14 brass washers for like little trim pieces for the bolts. But yeah, let me swap you around here. And there it is. My little cover plate. And these are the little 14s. These bolts, I made them, but I forgot to accommodate for the board itself. So these are just barely hanging on. So I need to get a little bit longer. But yeah, there. These ones are number 14 brass, and these ones are number 10s. I'm gonna stand back here. That's not bad. Not bad at all. So let me shut the door and I'll show you from the other side how it looks. So there it is from the inside. Now, that is ugly. I'm not gonna lie. But I'm not sure how I can cover it or if I can. But for right now, I'll go with that. The door operates, opens, shuts both inside and outside, and we have a cover on it. And then, you know, eventually I'll put another one down here. I'll need to get some more material, but that's pretty darn good. All right, guys, so we got that part done, but the other thing I want to show you is, so these doors, when you open them, sorry about the fan, but when you open them, they just swing all the way. They could hyperextend the hinges more than what they already are, right? This side, my lower hinge is bent. So to probably from that. So shutting it hits a little bit up here in the frame up there. But the door shuts. So I'm not gonna fight it anymore. Like, I'm not gonna try to heat up that hinge. The door shuts. But what they do need is door checks. So it'll only open so far. And that's it right there, right? And I can actually shorten it up for the mirror side of it. But what you can use if you're ever in a situation where you need door checks, Jeeps. So Jeep Wranglers have this, it's just like a canvas thing, and then these two loops, right? But this can also work. I mean, I see a lot of people online where they put power windows in the, you know, power windows or power switches, anything where they need to run a wire into the door, but they're not sure how to do it. And they do sell those really like billet extension thingies, you know, that go into that mount to the door jamb and then mount to the door itself, and then you can run the wires through. But the newer Jeeps, actually any Jeep with power windows, has the same type of check, right? The only difference is that this one is stitched all together, you know, all the way through. When those door check or those straps are actually hollow in the center. So you could, in essence, run wiring through it. So that way you don't have to have the stainless steel thing, and it'll work perfect. So I already put the passenger side in, so I can show you the passenger side, how it all is in, and then we'll put this side in, and I think we're gonna call it a day today. So let me swap you around here and let me show you. So there it is. So what I did was I drilled these guys out for a 1/4 20, and then I just popped a couple 1/4 20 rib nuts on this side and 2 on this side inside this jamb, and there you have it. See that? No problem. And you can get these off Amazon. They're pretty expensive. I think I got less than like 30 bucks into these things, and they do an amazing job, right? So let's open up that door. Oh, look at that panel. Oh, that looks so good. Okay, so I'm gonna put this side in. I'm gonna set up the camera here and show you how it goes. So this did have door checks right here, and then there's a piece. Actually, the piece is missing, but there was another piece on this side. When you open it, it would stop it, whatever. But this has actually got a huge bracket that's like part of the hinge, part of everything. So I may just kind of lop these off so it's smooth, but this fits right inside that hole. So I'm not too worried about it, to be honest with you. But I'll show you how I mount these guys, and then we'll talk about it a little bit. All right, guys, so here we are. And these are what they refer to as adjustable. Basically, you just have an extra loop on here, so you have 2 loops. So how I had to do this one, or that one on that side, is run one on that loop, on the inside loop, and then you run one on this side loop, right? So it looks kind of like that. And then I just kind of line it up to what the check that's already there. So, you know, that would go like that, right here. And then obviously I'd bring that in and then lap it into there. But you want it kind of even. Can you guys see? Okay. So you want it kind of even, right? So right there. So here and here. Let's put a little light into the subject. Right there. Right there. Okay. So I know it's got to go right there and there. So I will pop a hole right here and right here. And there it is, one door check. All right. I like it. And I can move this in if it does hit the mirror or whatever. But that's awesome. And yeah, this thing right here has already paid for itself plus. With all the rib nuts I'm doing, good purchase on that one. All right, guys, we got the base down. So the back sides here are painted black, and then these are going the green, the dark green, the same color as the truck. So we'll be back after we clear it. 15 by 8 Steelies, 2.5 inch backspace. Obviously this is the front side, so it's going to have a heck of a lip, but right there. Oh, that's the goodness right there. Kind of on the fence about getting the trim ring. What do you guys think? Should I go with the trim ring, or should I just run like that? I'll run like that at first, and then I can always add the trim ring. All I got to do is just get tires. All right, guys. So we got the panel made for the interior on the driver's side. This side I still have to catch it up, but I'm waiting for my material. I'm kind of like touch it once and be done. So yeah, we got the roof and the back wall all cleaned up and coated with the rust stop with the spray gun. Way better. I'm gonna have to order some more of that so I can finish up underneath the bottom of the cab, because I can narrow that down and it'll shoot right where I need it to go. And oh, and the door check. Now I know it doesn't sound like a lot, but it is actually. I don't know. So anyway, we'll see what we get into tomorrow. I think what I'm going to do tomorrow is probably just burn up the rest of the sound deadening, get that all covered on the roof, because there's nothing more I need to do as far as the roof goes or the back cab, besides maybe try to make some pieces back there. But I think that's what we're going to do tomorrow. We're going to start first thing in the morning and get going with that sound deadening stuff. All up in there and along the back, just to kind of quiet it down a little bit. And yeah, so until tomorrow. Alrighty guys, so I decided to just keep going here. So I didn't really like that door. So what I did was I kind of rebuilt this panel right here. So it's not, I don't know, it's the best that I could come up with. And I just basically made another piece, and then I joined the two together, and then I put in a piece here just as like an accent. I don't know. I think that'll be okay. Let me swap you around so you can get an overall better look. So there it is. And like I said, this piece is glued and nailed in to these two pieces right here, the original piece and then the piece that I made. It actually was the exact height that I needed, right? So I couldn't argue with that. And then I swapped out the Allen headed bolts to stainless Phillips heads. And there it is. All right. And of course, still works that way. And then when I reach my hand in, sorry about the camera angle, it still works from inside. So all I had was just 4 pieces left of the sound deadening stuff. I got half the back wall done, not enough to record anything, but you saw me do the engine hump, so it's the exact same. So I pulled the battery up and out, and then I did that whole side. So let me show you that. And let me get some light on the subject. So I got up to there just before the curve, and then halfway from the window, and then all the way down, and then all the way up in there. All right, guys, that's going to wrap up this video. So we're starting to turn this crusty interior into something beautiful, considering, right? So we got the door panel figured all out, especially with the whole transition cover. I like it. At least I like the idea of it. So I like it per se. I may redo that so it's one big piece. But for now, that gives me a great idea. As far as what I can use to cover it, I've got enough spacing. Waiting for some material. The sound deadening, we went as far as we could. I have to get more of that. But we got the whole crusty roof all cleaned up and rust stopped. So that's another major step in that interior. So this probably won't be the only video on interior because I still do have a lot more material, and I have to do kick panels for these. I want to retain these vents. This one doesn't work yet. I keep spraying it with stuff to try to get it to free up. The driver's side one works perfect, but I want to retain those, and I want to have them usable, right? But anyway, I appreciate all you guys coming in here and taking a peek at what I got going on this weekend. And hey, go out and build something cool, guys. One weekend at a time. Catch you on the next one. Bye.